Well, hi YouTube, you're with gothatfunk, and in the past 4 months or 5 months, whatever it is, since I've been making YouTube videos, I've made a lot of good friends, and I've seen a lot of interesting points of view that's given me pause for thought and helped me consider things in a way I might not have considered them before. And in my sort of gallivanting around videos here and there, I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed that there's a group of people on YouTube that take heat from virtually all sides. These people are loosely associated by their beliefs. Now, these are not atheists on YouTube I'm talking about, neither are they theists. In fact, the people I'm talking about have more evidence for their beliefs than theists do. I'm talking about conspiracy theorists. Now, that's such an overarching umbrella term that it can mean many different things to many different people. Some people are conspiracy theorists almost as a trademark, and they believe more or less every conspiracy out there. Alex Jones and his disciples, that sort of personality type. Now, I have to confess, I myself do have a lot of sympathy with certain conspiracy theories. This is not the same thing as to say that I believe the conclusions that the conspiracy theorists come to, but in certain historical occurrences, there are anomalies which have never, ever been properly addressed. And because they've never been properly addressed, I think that they do naturally spawn conspiracy theories. For example, taking the murder of JFK. There's loads of reasons, legitimate reasons, to presume that there was more than one assassin. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of the JFK assassination. It's been covered millions of times by millions of people. But I will say that frankly, it's arrogant to think that if someone believes that JFK was assassinated by conspiracy, if you don't think that that's plausible, I don't think you've looked at the evidence. I don't think that you've investigated the anomalies. I'm not saying that the conspiracy theorist answers to those anomalies are necessarily true. I'm saying there are anomalies, and I've never heard adequate explanations for any of them. So that's one. September 11th is another one. Now, there are more anomalies about September 11th than there are facts. The official theory is, the official story is so full of holes, you could strain spaghetti with it. I mean, it's bad. I think it's wrong to sort of tar all conspiracy theorists with the same brush, in the same way that atheists get annoyed when theists try to say that all atheists have certain beliefs in common, which blatantly we don't. Now, I myself have sympathy for the conspiracies, some of the conspiracy theories that surround, say, JFK's murder, Robert Kennedy's murder, 9/11. I'm interested in some of the theories about Princess Diana's death, but I don't believe them. I'm interested in some of the theories about the moon landings, but I don't believe them. And so it goes on. Now, the reason I'm sort of bringing this up is because, it's understandable for atheists on YouTube to sort of bash Christians and other theists for their beliefs which have virtually no evidence whatsoever. But some conspiracies, or conspiracy theories, do have a significant body of evidence. I'm not saying it proves anything. I'm saying it's a significant body of evidence. But rather than investigate that body of evidence, it tends to be dismissed out of hand. Now, I have my own conspiracy theory, which I call the conspiracy theory. You see, I think that the powers that be, whether they're political or religious or commercial, business, deliberately put misinformation and disinformation into the public arena, which is anomalous, so that people like myself and people who are anti-establishment, non-conformist type personalities will latch onto them, and then they can point at people like me and go, look, that guy's a nut. And then any of the legitimate grievances or anomalies, which we might like to point out, get sort of washed under the, or brushed under the carpet, along with the easily provable ones which are proven to be false. For example, with September 11th, the easy one to get rid of is when they say, oh, all the Jews were warned not to get into the building that day. What a crock of shit. Now, the people who sort of believe that type of thing, it's unfortunate that I, as a conspiracy theorist about 9/11, get tarred with the same brush as those people because I don't share that belief. But there are legitimate anomalies about the 9/11 story, and they should be more properly investigated. I think it's an insult to the intellect of anybody who's simply trying to find out what the true story is. I think it's also insulting, frankly, for conspiracy theorists to jump to conclusions when the evidence might point away from the official story, but doesn't actually point to any alternative conclusion or any definitive conclusion based on the evidence. If all the evidence shows is that the government is lying, well, surprise, surprise. But I think it's wrong, really, to jump to conclusions based on just evidence that doesn't necessarily prove anything. You need a larger body of evidence before you start, say, for example, blaming the Bush regime for what happened on 9/11. I think that type of accusation is irresponsible and putting the cart way before the horse. Anyway, so I'm sure I might get a little approbation for admitting that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I am. And if you want to talk about that further, I would encourage a robust discussion in comments below. So do your worst, and let's see where this goes. My name's Paul. I'm Got That Funk. May all your ups and downs be ups. Take it easy.